Yeah, so I think one of the most interesting things is like how much work we put into trying to try and figure out good rosters in this slightly unusual rule set. And I think out of the eight choices, I think we've got 1 to 7 of the most popular ones. And I think it's only the Wood Elf one that is a little less popular. And I don't know why, because I think the Wood Elf roster is one of the best ones that we've got. So yeah, it was a real feeling of let's put our best players on their best teams, whilst at the same time paying a bit of attention to the rule set. So no Dark Elves there, unfortunately, no Lizards there. Two very popular teams that we felt didn't quite make the cut, and some other ones going ahead. So yeah, I think we've got a good lineup. I think we've got good rosters. And yeah, looking forward to a good event. Italy just pipping us on the average, but Purple Goo was going to do humans for a long time. He played humans in the home nations, but we just felt that maybe Elven Union had that little bit more like pull something out the bag potential. When you've got players as good as Purple Goo, you really need to give him the tools that he can use to jump ahead. So yeah, really looking forward to the event. I think we've got a good team.
I think when you're looking at this, I think Chaos are very viable, and I see that they're not in your list. I think humans you've touched on already were also very viable and not in the list. And I'm sure there's something else that I'll go, oh yeah, and that. But High Elves actually. Yeah, there's the other one. I think High Elves
we
are
looked
also
at Chaos,
strong.
Yeah, we looked at Chaos at Christmas, and I thought they were very strong there. The star potential with them is also present. I think the reason why we didn't take Chaos is we couldn't really see who's the good ball carrier on that team, and sometimes you need someone that can just do got a little bit of pizzazz to pull out at the end. Yep. We think the Chaos roster will do really, really well, but maybe at the very high end, some of those coaches that we might play against might have just enough to bog them down. But it was a close one. We definitely looked at Chaos, and I think they'll have a great weekend. Any Chaos player?
Yeah, I do too.
At Wales.
I'm not playing them actually, but sure, thank you. I handed them over at the very end, so someone else has got them.
Who's playing Chaos for you guys?
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Can we see the rosters? Yeah, can we see the rosters or not?
Yeah. So if you go to the top, to the very top of this page,
yeah,
you'll see a bunch of tabs, and the coach rosters, yeah.
And I've got to find.
Yeah, if you go to coach rosters, and then you say tournament, EuroBowl, and then you select team, and you pick whichever one you want. In this case, you just uncheck all and then check England, and then that should show you all of the England coaches, and then you just click on whoever one you want.
There we go. Okay, so I thought it'd be interesting. Just quickly, I'm going to blast through them all. So the Pro Elf build has had quite a lot of different talk about it, and yeah, the dodge diving tackle blitzer, that was one. We've seen a frenzy wrestle catcher as another. I've just seen bludge stack on a catcher as a third. So interesting. Goo's gone for the dodge diving tackle, and he's also got a block and a wrestle lineman, which I really like because the block lineman is actually a blitzer. The blitzers are actually doing sidestepping, bludging things. So strong roster this. Strong.
The memo I didn't get from Elven Union and good coaches like Stromy are on it is dump off throwers. I never got that memo, but there's 3 rosters of the Elven Union that are rocking dump off throwers.
Dump off? What?
I'll just say that again. Dump off throwers.
Oh no. Okay.
I like how we're like Dark Elves are shit because you can't do skills, but let's turn other teams into Dark Elves.
Oh my word.
But when you think about it, it's not that bad because it's a 2+ pass with pass, probably into the arms waiting Nos, yet Nerves of Steel catcher with 2+2+.
Yeah, unless they've based you up, at which point it's a 4+ that you can't re-roll because it's not your turn.
But you'd have to double base, right?
Well, okay. Just you double paste it, and it's only a short pass. It's only a quick pass, so you can't go beyond 3 squares.
I've scored many a dump off.
Seems like there are better skills to pick.
Yeah, I'm with Wilson here.
Also,
Other
good
choices are available.
Good luck
Like,
dumping
maybe
off
if you
one
had an
of
extra wrestle, you wouldn't get hit. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know about that, but you know, it might come in handy.
England to lose a key match against Stromy. Dump off touchdown pass. You heard it here.
Yep, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But yeah,
well, the catch is, yeah, it's just but no, that's interesting. Who says Stromy? So we can check out. Do you know? You say there's 3 of them. So one's Stromy, and who else? Do you know?
Give me a second and I'll do my magic.
We can, because if you just write those down and then we can look at those squads later.
Well, do you want to take us through your Vampire? Because I think, other than Elven Union, Vampire is one of the other interesting ones that there's a few different ways you can approach it.
Misery, I think, with vampires. That's how you approach vampires.
Well, Andy, if you want some coaching, I'm always available.
Excellent. Good. Sign me up. Just not with vampires.
Well, I'm not good with anything else. So, anyway, yeah. So vamps. So my thought. Well, you say that there's a fair few ways to do it, but actually, if you scroll up a little bit again and you go to race summary, and you select vampires on that list, you'll see that there's actually a lot of people have chosen very close rosters, if not the same. If you scroll down to the race player makeup, you'll see that there's 1 Vargeist, and then there's, other than that, 3 teams that have not gone for the 6 vamps, but everybody else has gone with the 6 vamps and 14 players, which is what I've done. And then in terms of the skills, you'll see that the most popular one is the runners, that almost all of the runners and all the teams have dodge. There's 3 somewhere that have got pro, but in general, you take 2 runners, both with dodge. You take on the 2 throwers, you take leader and something else. So it's either block or dodge. Most people have taken block. That's what I've taken. But there's a few with dodge, and you can see a couple other oddballs in there. And then blitzers again. It's usually frenzy, strip ball, block. Some of those. Something along those lines. So the most popular have been frenzy and strip ball, which again is what I'm taking. And then you've got a few block, and you've got somebody who's stacked. I'm guessing that's one of the ones that have only taken 2. They've only taken 1 blitzer, so that unlocks that stack. So, so the way that I see this vampire build is runners do absolutely have to have dodge, because they're the ones that are always going to be moving away. They're not going to be blocking. You want them to be mobile. You want them to be your hypno pieces as well, or your long-range hypno pieces. So you need to be able to weave through and obviously pick up the ball, score in 1 turn. All of that. Dodge is very good, and it keeps them alive. To me, pro just doesn't quite cut it. You want dodge on those. The throwers, well, you need leader to get the 4 rerolls, because there is no... Oh, interesting, Dementor. I didn't realize that. Cool. So there's no way you can get all 6 vampires and 4 rerolls in this rule set unless you take leader, which is just what you have to do. So that's a given. And then for the second one, it really depends for me. So you either take block or dodge. And I think if you're taking a vampire blitzer with block, then dodge is better on the thrower. But if you're not taking block on your blitzers, then you do need that strengthful, reliable block blitzer, which is why I take block. And then finally for the blitzers, well, Frenzy and Strip Ball both synergize so well with the vampire, with the built-in jugs, right? Because Strip Ball means that on anything but a double skull, unless they have sure hands, that ball's gone. And Frenzy means that you just have an absolute machine, a surfing machine and a chain pushing machine. And each of those is better against different matchups. Plus, the Frenzy Blitzer makes the 1 turn trivial.
Oh, we got Keitham in chat asking about your vampire guide and saying, is it a public resource?
Yes, it is. I can link it if you want. I'll pop it in the stream chat after. When I'm not
link it now if you like. If you have it
all
handy,
right, sure.
by all means.
I can do. Give me a second. Yeah. So this is just
I really like the one thing as well. You always have one person that goes completely off piste, and I think Andy, when you hovered over the wrestle, it seems like there's one person who's just thought, nah, 3 wrestle linemen. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, that's unusual. That's
well,
as well.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's possible that those are on 3 separate teams that are all ones
by
that
Neil.
haven't taken, that have not taken the 6 vamps. Because if you don't take the 6 vamps, you have that extra skill that you can put on a thrall, and I think wrestle's probably one of the best.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was curious about who was the banger with the Mighty Blow of Argeist. It turns out it's the home team, Hungary.
yeah. Well, there you go.
That's going to ruin 5 people's weekends.
Yeah, to be fair.
And it's going to die on the last game, like immediately.
Yeah. To be fair, the VOD can do some work. I just don't think it's optimal. But if you want to, removing things helps vampires quite a lot, right? So if you can do that, great. But, yeah.
I've always found it's one of those interesting ones where you wouldn't really take it, but you never want to face it.
Well,
like it turns up and you're just like, oh god, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah, it's a bit of a variance multiplier.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool. Well, anyway, that's my roster. Do we want to look at some of the others?
So I was quickly, while you guys were talking, I was quickly flicking through here as well, just to see if there's anything slightly unusual. So I think that Necro build is the build that is correct for this rule set.
2 werewolves is unusual, isn't it?
No, I think
I won't go there.
some people have gone 1, but I think 2 is right, and you can
agree.
skill both. Here, that's your solution. We've covered that. That is very heavily leaning into the 1-turn side of things, isn't it? I mean, that's if I was facing that and someone sat down and said, "I've got this," you got guard blitzer, you got Juggernaut Rat Ogre, and you got a sidestep gutter runner. Right, okay, so you're going to play for the ball for 3 turns. When it doesn't work, give up and play for the 1 turn. I have to kill that Rat Ogre because you probably benched the sidestep gutter in the first place. So this is hugely important, probably the most important piece on the board. And the blitzer is a facilitator, but it is that. I would be going after that heavily. Tree's gone something very similar, which is the frenzy, the sidestep. So this is lent for me quite heavily into the 1 turn as well. But we have a leaping strip baller this time. So you've almost taken 2 rosters that do very similar things. And are very dangerous because they have general defensive threat and they have 1-turning defensive threat.
I mean, you could say the same for vamps, right? Like they're pretty good defensively and can also 1-turn very easily.
Yes. Yeah, actually, absolutely, yeah. Vamp, yes, you're very good at 1-turning with them. I think you have to learn it a little bit, but I suppose it's not that difficult once you've picked it up.
Well, against a few of the standard defenses, which I'm not going to name, you can get it up to 75%.
Wowie. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's mental. Holy moly. This, I think, is also... I was flicking through it. I think there were a couple of choices that people have here. So the blockers, I've seen double guard, I've seen 1-on-1. I am starting to come round to thinking that 1-on-1 might be the meta choice because Blodge strength 4 defensive is insane. So looks like K-Folk agrees in this particular instance. And you've gone block and wrestle on your blitzers. I like double block, but I understand that wrestle synergizes with a jump up. So okay, it's all right. And then Joe, I think, has moved away slightly from I think what is now considered meta, but I have spoke to him on this point, which is the double guard mummies rather than having a white with guard. And he said his justification is that the mummy is AV10 rather than the white being AV9. So do you want a player with a skill leaving the field or not? And I can fully follow that line of thinking. My counter response was, but the white blitzer will stay with the ball on turn 4, 5, 6, and the mummy is very unlikely to be so. And he went, no, sticking down the mummies. So he prefers double guard mummies, but other than that, this is all very as you would expect, and as I think is the right way to build all the teams.
Joe's exceptional. I've played Joe's Undead a few times now. He's very exceptional at knowing when the two mummies have to stay together and when you want to peel one of them off to be a bit more with the ball. So he's very good at finding a way to get one of those guard mummies to sort of be a bit more in the game, and one other one like just trying to suck players out to create some gaps.
Yeah. Right, how do I look at the next team? And really, the next one to go to it's got to be Scotland, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's do it. So you go. Actually, you could just stay in this page, and then where it says England EuroBowl, just swap to Scotland.
Oh, I need to untick England. There we go.
Yeah.
Apply. Right, Jock, you want to guide us on this one?
Yeah, can do. I mean, I think one of the things to kind of note for Scotland this year is we've had a massive kind of change to approach. Up until this year, you kind of gained automatic selection largely through competing in Scottish tournaments, and we moved to an application and selection process. So from the sort of very off, I think the things that I'm proud of this year before we even roll a dice in Budapest is we had 26 people apply, and we've got 31 Scots going to Budapest, which makes us the 6th largest travelling contingent in Europe, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think everybody's going to have a good time over there, regardless of outcome. Obviously, we're shooting for hosting rights, as are Lithuania and Switzerland have thrown their hat in at the ring as well. So better get a second mortgage, guys, for 2028.
Lithuania, I heard, is expensive to get to. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, my lineup, my approach was to ask the coaches what they wanted to play, what was the races that they were comfortable with, and then obviously you kind of have to balance that off against the rule set, because obviously it was a definite meta shift, shall we say. I mean, you'll notice that I'm not on my beloved Dark Elves, so sad to say. I was kind of looking forward to giving them a go, but alas not. So yeah, I was kind of balanced, and unlike England, we're not blessed with a K-Fog or a Purple Goo or any other of the famous names. So we kind of have to balance what our guys are comfortable with versus what we think is good. So we probably are a bit off meta if you look at some of the races there. I think the obvious one there being Lizardmen with Shrike, and it was a very close call between him and a few other coaches for kind of the last seat. And we kind of plumped for form with Shrike over the other guys that are in the open. But I mean, there's some names in there that will be very familiar. Jimmy Fantastic's favourite named coach, Camel Chops, who has come into his own in the last couple of years. He's a top class Skaven coach. And then Lucky, who is Scotland's most successful coach at EuroBowl in terms of record over multiple years, and he has been a lizard main for a long time, but like Dan in the early days, we were kind of like not keen on lizards, and so I said to Loki, how do you fancy doing some vampires? If England's got Torquemada, we should have Loki on vampires, so it was an easy call. And then Purdendas is vice captain and most capped Scotland player in terms of total caps. He's had a cracking season with the humans, quite enjoying the mighty blow tackle for obvious reasons. And then San, who we've not yet thanked, is his wizardry.
Back one.
What's that?
I don't know if you can see my mouse. There's a small, just a little something that's a little on the unusual side, I would say.
A little bit of spice.
Yeah, you've just dropped a little spice on there. Line 5. Catcher number 1, please, sir.
Whose roster?
On the Purdendas. Yes.
Oh, Purdendas. Oh, the sneaky get. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How did that get in there?
I've got no idea, if I'm honest. He got past the captain's glare of eyes. I wasn't too rigorous. I was like, yeah, that's fine. The sneaky get, that sounds fine to me. Why not? We've got a second one once he gets sent off.
What? There's two of them? Oh no, second catcher, right? Yes.
Yeah, second catcher. Not two sneaky gets. No.
No, he's not insane. Come on now.
I have seen a human roster out there. I forget who it was. It's who got both the mighty blow tackle and sneaky get DP stat out there. I forget which one it is, but there is a human roster that's got both removal machines ready to go, basically, in that sense. But yeah, Purdendas has been around for a long time. Played 600-700 games of NAF tabletop, so he knows what he's doing. And then San is kind of our wizard in many ways. He's the man that put together this data sheet that we're looking at, and he helped me put together the data stuff that I use for selection. And he's kind of he's our purple goo, I would say. The guy that you give the race to, that you kind of like, there isn't a hole. Although he obviously landed on Amazon's, which is a sweet number for this one.
That must have been a rough gig. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Our Swiss Army knife landed on the best race. There we are.
Landed in an M2 Abrams tank. Oh well, never mind.
Well, got to play to our strengths. I mean, the reason why he's in the team was because there was a fair bit of red wine consumed in Athens, and I talked him out of retirement, I'm pleased to say. So this is why we find him not at the organizer table helping the organizers with the scoring, but he's going to be rolling some dice in anger. So we thought we'd bring him equipped to deal with all the monsters that are out there, in that sense. And then Strikes Lizards is an interesting one. We kind of talked about it. There's Nightsword, the young 14-year-old from Malta. He's come up with a really neat lizard roster, which we talked about using. So due credit to Nightsword. But in the end, Strike's a very comfortable and competent lizard coach, and we thought, you know what, just stick the wrestle on it, see what happens, in that sense. And then, if England's got a NAFC champion, so do we. Sporran won the NAFC a few years ago, rocking the undead rather than the typical orcs, again for obvious reasons. And he's gone for the 7-skill build, and I'm sure he's going to be a nice anchor. And then proper old-time rock and roll from the God knows when, Valen. Gavin is a Chaos Cup winner many moons ago, and he's a bit like Gegster. He's been around, and he's got an anecdote and a funny story that I won't share, but it was once around a conversation around whether Gegster should skill his runner or not. It said tournament, and he didn't, and funnily enough, he got sacked with a buff down by Gav, so with his dwarfs, and I think he won that one. So yeah, come on England, we'll take you. So yeah, that's the Scotland lineup.
Calcutta Cup. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I would like to point out at Home Nations, both Gav and I weren't there playing.
That's true. That's true.
So we'll give you there. And obviously, I've not talked about me. I'm on High Elves rather than the Dark Elves. I think the Dark Elf build is misery, to the point where obviously we've only got 3 Dark Elves in the entire bowl, which kind of speaks to itself, I would say, in that sense. And
Dark Elves are ugly enough that Pete's gone with Black Orcs.
With Black Orcs, indeed. And interestingly, the Welshman over in the corner there might not know this, but your High Elf expert, Gav Coleman, was taking roster advice off me. So there you go. If he loses, it's my fault, I suppose.
Has he taken Cannoneer this year?
He hasn't taken Cannoneer this year, but he went for the Wrestle Dodge stack coach that I'm a fan of. I couldn't persuade him to take Kick, who's obviously listened to our Irish friend Kalon. So yeah, I've got Kick to menace people.
I like it.
I just kind of I kind of figured we've got enough skills on that High Elf roster that I'm going to throw in Kick and try and take advantage of these slower teams when we get them.
Yep.
I think it's a strong Scotland team. Almost everyone's over 200, and the ones that aren't are sort of it's teams they've jumped into for this year but are doing really well with. So yeah, I think it's a really strong team.
Yeah, one of the surprises, we'll probably get into it in a little bit after looking at rosters, but Scotland, based on race elo, is the 8th seed, which blows my mind.
Wow. Wow. There is only 8 races, by the way, everyone. That's why. Oh dear. Right. Well, Jock, where would you like to go now? You can choose who we go and look at next.
Well, I think we've got to go to Wales, right? Seeing as you're here, the honorary Welsh captain.
No. I never want to captain anything. Thank you. That is no. Right. I'm going to run down them one at a time. So, where was I when I put this roster together? I feel like I was possibly in an airline queue, and I feel like I might have been with you at the time, Jock, when I wrote this, because I think I bashed it together and sent it to Gav and said this is a placeholder roster unless I change my mind, and I didn't. So this is the roster I've gone with. 12 players, 2 rerolls plus leader. I've got the wrestle block line man stack from Purple Goo, which I thought was really nice. And I decided that Wrestle Frenzy would be more fun than Blodge Diving Tackle. Although I have played Blodge Diving Tackle and it is menacing it when it works. So let's see whether I was right or wrong. But I think at least I'll have some fun with that combo. I was on Chaos Chosen, but Bertmank has now taken those. And has taken, I think, pretty much the same build, if not the same build. In fact, it is the same build I had. So we've got double wrestle linemen, goats. We have 2 guard in the team, and then the engine room is a little bit like Khorne, where you've got 4 block across the chosen blockers, but no frenzy. We've got double mighty blow. So the ogre is there just to anchor things, and then you're blitzing with the blockers, and hopefully they're split up on the board, and you've got one on the left side and one on the right side. You can always hit with mighty blow every turn.
Is the plan there to carry with the blocker, or just like run about with a naked goat?
You run it. So the way I would set it up is kick on this team doesn't tend to phase me too much because I put 2 goats quite far back, 1 in each side, so that if it goes 4 squares off the end zone, and then they can absolutely go and fetch the ball straight away, and then the other one just runs towards the ball. So yeah, the downside here is things like Wood Elves, Skaven can be quite problematic because you're running it on a blockless, defenseless, no shorthand lineman, so even 2 dice uphill can be quite worrisome. And in those matchups, you do probably have to run it on a chosen blocker because you need the additional strength and the block skill to defend yourself. So there are some bad matchups with Chaos.
It sounds like you're bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, although I think I've played, about 15, maybe slightly more games with this roster, and the only game I lost was to Camel Chops on EuroBowl with this, and that was because we were drawing 1-1, and I decided, let's push for the win. We can probably turtle this out and play for a completely locked-in draw, and I had a 20% chance of a score, and he had, I think less. I missed mine and he hit his, but he played phenomenally well. So, yeah, it was good. But yeah, I found it quite stable, and I've played some very, very strong coaches. But we'll see how Bertmac does it. Moving on to Dementor's Amazons, I think there's I mentioned it earlier. I think there's a choice where you've got the blockers, you can double guard them or block guard them. I'm starting to come down on the side of block guard, but I have been running guard. So I think this lets you bully the strength teams a little bit more. And then he's taken what I like, which is the double block blitzers, because the hit and run skill, you can absolutely abuse that with double block so much more easily you can with block wrestle. So I like this. And then he's got a wrestle line woman for sacking. His Amazons, they'll be strong. He should do well. He has been doing well. I look forward to seeing more wins from Dementor's table.
But funnily enough, the Sand Clan representing on Amazons then.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll see which one is best Amazon.
It'd be hilarious if there's a mirror match between them two.
Oh, they just both draw 0-0. It was miserable. The whole thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Raging 82. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Raging. Good evening. G. Coleman on High Elves. He's a bit of a High Elf specialist. This roster's basically just the roster you would pick, pretty much, isn't it? There's not much to change other than I don't like the dodge thrower. I'd rather have a lineman, but it is effectively a lineman in a lot of cases, so yeah, it's a minor tweak rather than anything else. This I like, though. Anyone want to talk about it, or shall I move on to the next one?
I was a bit thrown by the dodge thrower, but I don't mind it. It lets him field a thrower on defense, rather than hiding away the leader. So if he does get the sack and needs to chuck it, he's got that utility there that other high elf coaches won't have. So
it's also not too bad for like ball recovery, just having like an extra skill in that sort of difficult string if you have to sort of make a dodge and a pick up in a tackle zone. And it's not the worst thing to have. And second half, if you're not really interested, right, just throw him on the line, just have a normal dodge lineman effectively.
I think I'm with J-Leave on this one. I like a block liner more, because the few moments where that you probably will be dodging with that thrower once or twice per game. Standard team reroll for that, right, on that one. Whereas having that block on a lino allows you to be a bit more aggressive with the basing, and it allows you to take more hits, because this roster only has two block pieces otherwise. So it helps you be a bit more bashy, a bit more aggressive, which I think I like with high elves.
Yeah, right. Jaywood Orcs. We found Orcs a real problem, and finding Jaywood a roster I think that he liked was definitely something we were challenging all the way through. Because of the rule set challenges, Biggins not being allowed to take block has been a bit of a problem. He's gone for 3 guard, another guard blitzer, and then a tackle mighty blow stack. The guard should do okay here, but it is, it's block light, and we'll see how he gets on. I hope it's okay. I think the tackle mighty blow's got to do a lot of work.
I think we built differently. I done goofed is an orc coach, and I think we approached it slightly differently. I think he looked at more. I think he double guarded on his blitzers. The rationale of I prefer mobile guard. And I don't think he did a tackle mighty blow stack, and he took a leader thrower. So I think there's different ways to approach the orc build. When I look at that though, I just think that looks just a bit naked.
So underpowered, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I would not choose to play that. And I like playing orcs and in tournament format. They don't faze me. I've taken them to team tournaments this year, in fact. But you're right. I look at it and go, never mind.
He was a good player, so I think he'll do a job on this for sure. But I fear that he's going to come up against a couple of really tough matchups, and his team is not going to help him out.
Yeah. I think his mission's got to be 6 draws, isn't it? When you kind of think about how you build team wins, his instruction, I would imagine, from Gav is, mate, if you go 0-6-0, job done.
Yes.
Orcs are pretty good at that.
One thing we've seen from Wales over the last couple of EuroBowls actually is that they have lost relatively few games. The reason they've not done quite as well has actually been the fact that we've had too many draws, and we aren't turning some of those into round wins. So we'll go 1-6-2 or whatever the common thing is. There's a lot of draws in there. So yes, it's okay for him to draw, but we're going to need to try and find some wins in maybe in the top 4 here, or down here. But we're playing. I think Orcs are not a meta pick, so I'll be curious to see how he gets on with them. But he was struggling to find a race that he was comfortable with. So, on to Joseph and his Necro. You have to comment first of all not on the actual roster pick, but the fact that Joe's doing so phenomenally well while he's been playing this year. He's on some crazy run of Blood Bowl over the last 6-7 months, and I know someone else in this channel is doing very well, but he is up in the top 10 in the world this year, so he's a force to be reckoned with, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. In fact, you have to get hats off to Wales. You're in there as well, so 2 of the top 10 are Welsh, which is pretty incredible. I mean, obviously they're both below the Scottish guy.
I think I met Joe last summer at Barton Bowl, I think it was, and he was just like watching a game, interested. Yes. And like 12 months later, it's like, what the heck has happened? And he had an exceptional Home Nations as well on the top table at the end of the of the tournament. So yeah, I think it's a great roster as well. He plays it really well. I think it's a great combination, and there's no reason he can't go 6-0.
Yeah, I think he's very much, I would call him raw talent. He's still very early in the game, but he's definitely got the mustard. And the scary thing is he's only
because he's not been scarred like the rest of us yet. Right? He just goes for it and gets it right.
He's seventh.
He's been locking horns with some very good players, right? So he's been joining the TNT team in some of our travels around the world, and he's been training with some really good coaches in the UK. So even though he's not played a lot comparatively, he's had a very good quality in the games that he has played, and it shows. And he's got comes from a sporting background, much like Greenskin Phil, who they have another link, those two, that some in the chat may know. And he has that mentality of next play. He'll look at a game, it's gone badly, what can I learn? Move on. And that's a recipe for a very, very fast learning, I think. And we see the results, right? He's mustard.
Yeah, he's done very well, very, very well. And it's great. Right.
He's a really cool guy as well. Really nice.
Yeah, I don't like that. He might be in the chat. No, I'm not saying that.
Boo.
Right, Orkster and
Amoeba in Crocs.
What? Sorry.
It's just an in joke. We call him Amoeba in Crocs.
Orkster and his Lizardmen. So you went double wrestle in Team Scotland. We've gone tackle wrestle. I think there's not a lot in it, right? It's 4 block and 2 not block skills. But it's the same shell and the same everything else. This is another team that I hope if you can get some wins, brilliant. But I think it's another one of try and avoid losing, because he's playing an off-meta team at the moment. So dead curious to see how he plays them. He's got a good elo with them, so he should be able to get the absolute most out of them. But I think he is up against it with Lizardman.
Yeah, for me, I think this is the best Lizard roster. I think having the tackle in addition to the wrestle does open a few opportunities, and I think you are going to see more sort of agile, dodgy teams around. So that tackle guy is actually, I think, going to be quite useful and do some work. But for me, it's 2 rerolls, just not enough for Lizards. They're going to have too many bad starts to a drive, and if you don't get that momentum fairly early with Lizards, they can really bog down. So yeah, good luck to him. That if he makes all of his first turn pickups, I think he'll do fine. But if he has one of those bad halves, it's going to be really difficult to pull it out.
Yeah, personally, I think that the best Lizardman roster is the one we've got.
They're not taking it. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm just going to remind you of this.
Yeah, we did go through your roster. Yeah. So
Shamba saying in chat that he doesn't like the tackle on Saurus. Interestingly, tackle on a Saurus is fairly common in continental Europe.
For a long time we said, that it's even in sort of when you could take 6 block, even when break tackle was an actual useful skill. 5 block 1 tackle was very common in parts of France and especially Italy. And it does open up an opportunity. Like Lizards can get a bit, they can struggle. They're good at bogging a team down, but they can struggle to sort of really win the ball and do something with it. So I don't hate the tackle by any means, but yeah, it's a difficult one.
I think the one thing to be maybe said a little bit in the Lizards' favor is they're not going to bump into the Dark Elves that they hate. I love playing Dark Elves with all my blodge against Lizards. It's like game on, and they're not going to have that matchup really.
No one.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's a lot of tackle mighty blow, block tackle mighty blow out there as well, I think. Yeah, we'll see. They could do fine, but I think they're, again, like the Orcs, right? They're just 1 or 2 things short of where they need to be.
Yep. And then we round out with Rubik playing Humans. Humans was one of my sort of second tier of race 9 through race 12 picks. I think that they can absolutely do a job. But they always look good on paper, and then you play them. Is how I feel about humans. But he's interestingly gone for a Proger. Not a
Yeah,
Broger.
that stands out a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan actually. Ant tested it in Dominion same weekend as the Blood Bowl Open, and he had a Proger, and I played against him, and it was terrible. He could have just had block.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Demento makes a good point that you literally can't take block on it.
You can't.
Oh no,
you
yeah,
literally can't. Yes.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can't on this. Or just take guard then and save your SP.
Well, you could take. I would have gone guard on the ogre, and then the thrower. You don't need leader on it. You can't take block on it, so you can either then go, guard catcher, guard lineman, and therefore you've actually got. Oh, you can't because that capped you. You capped at 4 guard, aren't you? Oh, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
Just
No,
not
but
take
I think
humans.
just guard the ogre, right, and then keep the
ogre.
other blitzers the way they are. And
Well, maybe sneaky git on a catcher.
God, in fact, I think the rosters that I had designed when I talked about it several months ago was a blodge catcher, and you move the leader up to block catcher, but it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. I do like the two catchers. I think you've got a bit of speed. I'm not so sure about a Proger. I
think so as well. I think 2 catchers in a team format where you might need to push for the win, even if naturally you wouldn't, the team might need you to, and having that second catcher around that movement 8 just to try something late on, I think is really powerful.
Yes. Right. Well, that's all the teams from here.
yeah. Well, we were supposed to have Keith Bix on stream, and I know Raging was in there wanting us to go through it. So let's do that.
Ireland. Okay.
And then that rounds out the home nations.
Indeed.
All right. We should take. There's 4 of us. We should take 2 each. I'll take the first 2. So Antonis and High Elves. So he's gone for the double stack, which means he's got less skills in general. The good news here is there's 4 blodgy rodgy things. The bad news is the linemen are a lot easier to pick off. 3 rostered rerolls, no apothecary, 12 players. I think with all high elf builds, you're making a trade-off. You either got 2 in an apothecary and a leader, and you've got to protect the leader, or you've got this. I always preferred the wrestle, dodge, spam element, so I would have taken a slightly different build to this, but this will definitely do some work, and we'll see how he gets done. We've got Ceramol on. Whoa! This is the one wolf build. Was it you that talked about this? Talk. One of you mentioned one wolf.
No.
Yeah.
Well, who was it?
Go on. It wasn't me.
I was going to say, you've probably seen this on your travels, that this is the build that's talked about on the continent, is the Blodge Wolf.
Well, it's talked about in the continent and in a certain English streamer's channel 24/7.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that it lacks any ability, more ability to do any high rolling, because the one werewolf is fine, but I like the extra point of armor on the second werewolf versus the ghouls that don't have regen, because ultimately you're saying, what do I like more, a ghoul runner with wrestle or a block werewolf? Well, if you like a ghoul runner with wrestle, why don't you just run a wrestle werewolf and have frenzy wrestle and be better on offense? And have regen and a point of armor more and more movement and claw. I mean, there's quite a few things more to like, so I don't subscribe to this build, but yeah, okay, it is what it is. It'll work, I suppose.
I think there's a lot of memeing about it, but I think the 3 rerolls is quite nice, right? 3 rerolls and a bench is very nice for Necro in this rule set. So, I think it's still a pretty good build. I agree that I prefer the other one, but I think this is pretty good.
Sorry. Will it work? Yes. And will it be a handful? Yes. Ceramol is also both a very nice chappy and a very strong coach. So although his ranking here is at 150, he is not a 150 coach. So, people beware. This is not a 150 player. So, right, who wants to take the next two?
I want the last two.
Oh, I'll take vampire. The vampire shambling, I guess.
So I'll go Daunton then.
Yeah.
It's Amazons.
Woo!
There we are. Done. That was easy. I think the interesting comment here is the thrower with leader. Obviously, in the build costs, a lot of people shun the thrower. I myself, I'm not opposed to it. I think the on the ball to help stabilization is maybe something that's undervalued. I mean, being an elf coach like Andy, I am massively keen on disrupting the stabilization, and I think something like on the ball, even on a dwarf runner, for example, it's the sort of stuff that just kind of like takes that weapon away from rats and elves to a degree. So I don't mind it at all. Obviously he's gone the one block, one guard. Seems to be de rigor. It certainly seems more popular in the two guard builds. Having not played Amazon, I'm no expert at all. And then, of course, Gorgoroth's dwarves, they hate the dwarves almost as much as Andy. I imagine before we release this one, can we bet on 4 guard and 4 mighty blow?
Oh, no, sorry, I've just flicked over. There you go.
Oh, I've got lag, so I didn't see it.
I'm sharing screen in Discord if anyone wants to see the live version of my screen share.
Holy crap. He's only got 2 mighty blow. What the hell?
DCB here, popping in to watch some Blood Bowl from Andy Devo.
So this is slightly
Knowledge
different.
is power. Use
Don't
it
mind
wisely.
the leader runner for the extra reroll. We got 12 men's just in case the poor little buggers die. You can tell I love them. I quite like the guard on the blitzers. Obviously, they're a bit more mobile and agile than the linemen themselves. The wrestle runner just feels a curiosity. Sure. I mean, I guess sack potential.
All
I tell you what,
potential.
if that wrestle runner gets anywhere near my ball carrier, I've done something very bloody wrong.
Well, yeah, but the point is that you can use him as a safety, right? Like he can cover a lot more ground. But yeah.
That's for punching holes in a line, right, on offense.
Yeah, that's true. I always argue for wrestle over tackle. Although, again, I come from an edge kind of background in that sense. I mean, if you're putting people down, you need to clear the channel every now and then. And if you've got all that block running about, the wrestle is a nice bit of utility. I shouldn't mock, because I would argue for the utility on an elf build. It's just quite interesting to see it on a dwarf build.
Well, you can't put block on it, right? So what are you going to do?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, cry, I guess.
I just wanted to bring back something on Danton's roster. So the thrower. So you're talking about the on the ball for stabilization, and Miss Beltree in the chat brought something up that I've encountered. Whereas there's always a temptation to use that on the ball to get under the ball and catch it. But then you're carrying on a player that you don't really want to be carrying on, because you want to get it on the blitzer for that extra movement and that hit and run.
Yeah.
And so it can be a bit of a trap sometimes. I've seen some good coaches use it to screen the ball on the kickoff. But if you catch it on the thrower, that's not ideal.
Well, I agree. I mean, certainly on a leader thrower. I mean, I would typically. I mean, obviously the gold probably doesn't allow for it because they haven't quite got all the toys. But I wouldn't mind it on a block thrower if we were going that way. But yeah, I think you're right. The carrying on the leaders is a problem for the solitary slan roster in the bowl who is running about with wrestle strip ready to take advantage. That is slightly gutting that there aren't more slan coaches. Just saying that.
I did try to convince Paul, but
maybe they'll be dead in the next edition. The GW might actually kill them off finally. No more slan. No more slan.
No more fun. I hear you speak.
Yeah, I don't like fun. Oh well.
Fun. Just trying to get rid of Core, and he's fun.
Oh, you can't get rid of Core's fun. Like, the man just exudes enjoyment. You see him, he's always got his big grin on his face.
Yeah. Right. Would you like to look at the next one?
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
So we've done vampires, right?
Vampires. Wow. Okay.
Captain
Well,
Keith.
this roster is all wrong, right? Because you have the 6 vampires, which you should never do, and you've got a leader thrower. What's that about? Oh no, wait. This is exactly the same as my roster. Never mind. Yeah. So it's what am I going to say? I've already talked about my roster before. Keith Biggs clearly is a man of impeccable taste and has chosen the exact same roster. I mean,
you say that, but I mean, Keith Bix is well known in the community as a connoisseur of the tour play roster, and if we were picking up on errors, it is the fact that the vampires come last. I mean, surely the positional should be at the top.
Well, you see, he's clearly playing the mind game, right? He's trying to throw his opponents off by doing that. Tilt them before the game even begins when they check his roster. It's all planned.
Well, the Irish did manage to turn over the English last year, so it must have worked.
Yeah, and they managed to pull off a surprise win and the last round of Home Nations to deny us the win as well, which absolutely not bitter about.
Well, again, I wasn't playing, so it's not my fault.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, like I said, this is, to my mind, the best vampire roster that you can build in these rules. So, not much to say about that. Undead. So, it's fairly similar this to Joe's one, right? So we've got 3 rerolls, 12 players, 2 guard mummies, 2 block ghouls, 1 wrestle ghoul. Guard, tackle, blitzers. So the tackle's nice for that, for the slightly dodgier matchups, of which there probably will be quite a few. So this helps you against the Amazons, helps you against the elves. Did Joe have 4 ghouls? I seem to think he had 4 ghouls. Have we traded a ghoul for another reroll here?
No, we changed it for a skill. So
right, okay.
This is, yeah, you're right. They normally have 3-4, but this is a skill. And then all the positionals have got a skill. I like this. This is my favorite build.
Yeah. I don't play a lot of undead, but I find that the 4 ghouls are quite helpful. Do you think that extra skill that you gain by dropping the ghoul is worth it?
I think so, because I like the double guard mummies at the start allow the stabilization phase of the drive to really kick off and work, and then you've still got both white blitzers skilled, and and we've still got blodge on the three ball carriers. It comes unstuck when people randomly roll pows and kill ghouls very early in drives, because the 4 ghouls gives you some redundancy. The 3 is a lot less redundant, but it should be fine most of the time.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also don't forget Joe's got a skeleton.
Ugh.
All right, yeah, well, that's clearly wrong. Dazamak, no, I meant Joe Manji, not Joseph. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do hear though that Lafandir, the coach, he's a fairly new coach as well, who's also been having some spectacular results over there. So looking forward to see what he does against Europe's finest.
He also has fantastic hair, like a lion.
I would settle for hair personally, but there you go.
Oh dear. Right. On to the last 2.
Raging 82. What can I say about Raging 82? What a terrible person with a terrible absolute. I don't know even why he's going to Budapest. What a waste of money. No, love you, man. I really like this Renegade roster. I think you're gonna upset a load of people at the weekend. I can see this absolutely banging people out. I think they get a lot of good skills, and I think in the hands of a coach as good and as aggressive as Dan is, this is going to be good. You've got the dirty player as well, which I really like, because you got the bench that you need as well. I really like rested as the choice on the lineman to just cause some chaos. And then you just got the front wall. I don't think it's a big problem to have dropped a Rat Ogre. I think you've got enough in the Minotaur, the Ogre. I like this roster. I think it's going to do some work.
Why, as he's in the channel, Raging, I've played against this, I think it was at Thrud we played. So I've played against this concept. I won't spoil it for everyone else in terms of what you're obviously trying to do, but you should be able to look down the roster and work it out. Why no Rat Ogre rather than why take the Minotaur? Because you've gone for the Minotaur for the blitzing with a Juggernaut, but the Rat Ogre would give you that auto blitz rather than the Minotaur going rrr. But it's obviously a choice. I'm curious, what's the reasoning? Minor is better than Rat Ogre, says Jim. Get out. I like the Rat Ogre. I very much like a Rat Ogre.
Yeah, this was one I looked at, and obviously Dan's a top coach, but I was a bit surprised at the lack of Dark Elf. I have to say, you'll have to tell me off air what he's trying to get at, because I don't understand why you'd chuck your 2+ elf out the window unless you have a grudge against elves like you do, Davo.
Oh dear. Raging says, when I played you at Thrud, it killed my ogre. Yes, I do remember it wild animaling and punching your ogre. I was like, oh well, it's alright, it's AV 10+. Oh, 10. Oh, 10. Oops. That was a sight to behold. Casual 1% play. Not to kill your own team. Alright. Well, we'll see. Right, the final one. Oh, glorious. This is my build, this. Who's Rags?
Yeah, it's a bit of a boring. Thing. I think if you're not going to go for the positional kind of choices that the purple goo is, you need to go all out, right? You need to go for the strip ball, wrestle, combo, frenzy. I think frenzy are for people that can't fully commit to the joy that is pro elves. So all it's going to do, right, is it's just going to get frenzied into a trap. It's going to get stepped on. Much tears will be had. Wales will finish last. Oh, sorry, we're talking about Ireland. Sorry, I got distracted there. It's a good Union build. I think there's probably 3 good options in Union, and I think this is one of them. So yeah, I don't think you can go too wrong with this.
So Davo, Goo, and who's the third option?
A strip ball option instead of.
I'm gonna say
either you go the dodge diving tackle and play more positionally, and you're not ball hawking as much, or if you ball hawk, I think you either go wrestle frenzy or wrestle strip ball,
or you suck them in and trap them with the dump off roar.
No, that doesn't make the list.
Yeah,
I'm telling
personally,
you.
No.
I think the blodge step diving tackle is just so good for me. I think the positional advantages and just the sheer amount of things you can do with it. If you're a good positional coach, it's just so strong. Strong.
I think it's a style thing. I think both are valid. If you're more of a positional type player, I think you get people into real trouble with the 2 side steps, throwing them in. But I also appreciate some people like to do the sheer terror that is just pure ball hawking.
So, yes, frenzying.
And I think there's a lot to that as well. The other advantage of frenzy, of course, is it's much harder on defense as well, because your opponent can't go to the edges quite as much, because of course the only reason why Surfman here has frenzy is that I don't ever played a team without frenzy in it. So there we go.
Never.
But no, it does I don't think you really necessarily need it on offense, but it does make the pitch just that little bit thinner, which helps.
Until you get yourself a pro elf mirror.
Yeah, or unless you're up against a sidestepper. Sidestep catch on humans, that's what I'd go for. But there we go.
Oh well. Right, well that wraps up Ireland. So we've done the home nations. Where should we go now?
So I know
in USA we've got J-Leave.
America. Whoa.
America. Yeah.
Well, podium finishers last year. Apparently, Americans can't play Blood Bowl.
Absolutely. And France decided to sack all of their winners. So they can't perform for sure.
Right. Who wants to kick us off?
That's a good timing for that intro sound, Illusionist.
Should we do J-League's Vampires talk? Do you want to have a...
I mean, yeah, if you want. Oh, look, it's exactly the same roster again.
Oh, what a surprise.
It's almost like this is a pretty good roster. Or at least a lot of people think so. Huh? You know, we could all be wrong. This is true. But I don't think we are.
The two things of note for me on the USA
Spleggy
lineup
smashed me into smithereens yesterday, everyone.
Lots of strong coaches in there. But Saul, rat coach extraordinaire, hates Union. So I think that passes commentary on the rule set. He obviously couldn't get away with his wrestle strip stack that he liked last year, perhaps, without sacrificing too much. And then the other one, when I was looking through the rosters, was my good friend TJ, Lone Wolf Jackson, with Norse, and he's got a sure hands lineman. And I was like, what's that about? That was my own curiosity. Otherwise, I think the Americans are built well. I think they'll come and they'll compete and comfortably top 5, I would say, when it all shakes out.
Yeah, I think they'll do well. I spoke to him about this roster as well. And I'm still a little unsure about one, splitting the tackle mighty blow, and two, the sure hands here, because the go for it's on a 3. Really, that ball carrier is absolutely movement 6, and you really are looking to hand it off to a Valkyrie potentially to score. So interesting.
For me, I would have just dodged one of the Valks and put DP on that lineman and say, "Go for it, pal."
Yeah, I like you can't really do it anymore, but I've played the sort of the fouling Norse build quite a lot, and it is pretty good. But yeah, I think for me this roster is trying to do too many things and doesn't really kind of commit to a game plan, and I'm just a bit worried that it's going to be a little bit weak in anything it tries to do.
I think over in the chat, Greenskin Phil is brought up Gritha's roster, so if you can look at that it's got a peculiarity in it. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. We thought that might have been on the Troll Slayer, but it turns out it's on a lineman.
Wow. I actually, when I was playing dwarves, I started with 4 and 4, which 4 guard, 4 mighty blow, and did it on fumble, causing the most casualties out of everybody, which was brilliant. I didn't win all my games, but it was quite fun. And I actually mused, although I never actually got to practice it, what would happen if you went 4 guard, 2 mighty blow, 2 stand firm, and you could use the stand firm as anchors on the wings. So he's gone for a similar build, but I just don't think the skill on the runner is adding enough. So I would have taken that skill off, and maybe that's where you do actually add. You end up with the build I was musing, which was 2 stand firm. But I don't like the double Troll Slayer because it's an easy target for someone to pick on and get a player off the field. The whole point of dwarves is that you've got a big wall of AV10 thick skull. So the Troll Slayers are just a little bit too vulnerable for me.
Yeah, and they get themselves into trouble, right? Like you want to be hitting things all the time, and the Troll Slayers sometimes will hit things and go off and on their little adventure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's always the worry, right? With doors being quite slow, a single stand firm isn't quite the brick wall that 2 stand firm are, sort of like 2 squares apart, which really is difficult to get around or through.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how he does with it. I'm interesting. We might end up playing it. Who knows? So, any other points on this one? Otherwise, if we try and pick every single roster and go through all of them, we will be here for the entire evening. So we
James, is there any other roster on this list that you want to call out before we move on?
Not for me.
No.
Right. I want to go and look at the French team because one of you used this earlier that they've been gutted. So I want to see who the hell is playing for them.
Yeah, I would suggest we
It's
look
still
at
a
maybe.
good team. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that was
completely different to the winners.
Wow. I know quite a few French players, and I recognise only 2 names on that list. Like as out and out top draw players. I'm not saying the others aren't. I'm just there's a lot of people that I would expect to be there that are not there.
Well, there's Ashraim, Sabertuno, Tira, and Helborg are all reasonably well known, right?
Well, Helber captained the winning side in the Open last year, so they've got form.
That's right, yeah. So one of these guys like won the Open. So they're really good players.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty amazing to win and then dump all your players. That shows the depth. You know, we've said for a long time how deep the French.
Yeah, I think it has to be said that even a not quite top shelf French team is still an absolute powerhouse, right? Like the strength and depth that the French Blood Bowlers have is quite amazing.
And all these guys do really well in World Cups and other formats, all the big team tournaments. So yeah, all of them super experienced coach, super good. So this is comments in the chat. Yeah, this is one of the different vampire rosters slightly. So he's gone with dodge on the thrower instead of block. Now I think that's fine, right? Like it leads itself a little bit more to an even more dodgy play than I do. So this means you're only ever blitzing with one of the blitzers, which makes them a bit more mobile. Means that you're not getting things down on a block, but you don't really need to. So yeah, it's a slightly different way to play.
Effective.
Interestingly, the French team have a website where every single one of them has given their reasoning for their roster. It's all in French, but if you speak French or can get it translated, and you're curious as to why, he gives a good explanation of it.
Have you read it? Does it make sense? Are you happy with it?
I disagree, but obviously I disagree because I'm not taking this roster, right? But I think it's not wrong. It's just I don't think it's optimal, but it's good, right? Like dodge or block on a vampire, you can't really go wrong because they will be dodging a lot and they will be blocking. So yeah, I'm getting asked for the link. I'll find it and put it in chat.
Okay. Well, I'm going to quickly flip.
Go on. We go for the Skaven next.
Sure.
I was about. Yeah. Carry on.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are there missing skills on a dwarf team? Oh. Hang on. Oh, and we've got 4 AV9 plus players. I want to read this French explanation and explain to me why this is not wrong. Chavarinzin, if we get to meet, I am going to come and find you and you can explain why this. How? Right. Tackle block.
The only thing wrong is that best roller doesn't have diving tackle. That's the only thing wrong.
Wow.
It is pretty out there.
The Dark Dwarf roster is one of the most out there rosters I think we've seen this evening. Wow.
The Dark Elf one's pretty funky as well.
What?
They're all
the
pretty
what?
tasty.
The what? Wait, but
They're all tasty.
Wow. 11 mans, no Apo, 2 rerolls. Let's go. Oh no, we've got leader. Okay, that's fine.
Wow.
Oh, assassin and runner as well. Nice.
Okay. Well, that's just going to get thrown in and it dies or it works. Dear. Continental Blood Bowl from Skavening. This is a set of choices. This one though, I support this one mostly.
Yeah, so I think the Skaven one is actually probably their most normal roster. And then weirdly, the unions haven't gone for a stack, which is in the context of the others is a bit weird.
So they've gone for the full 9 skills. I think I wrote a roster to it like this and thought, I'll have some stacks. So I played this and discarded it, but it'll work. It'll do some work.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's like wrong, but it just lacks that pizzazz, right?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Well, all right. So the French rosters, some of them are a little unusual. Off meta is the way I'm going to describe them.
But imagine sitting down against Chevreuse, like, and then he just whips out a death roller.
Yeah, and then it gets officials refed to, on the kickoff.
No, it won't. You know it won't. You know it won't.
12. Well, he does have 12, but he doesn't have an apothecary. So if you chip anything in the first half, he's playing the second half with 10. So, and that's where I think that the 4 AV8, 9 plus people, you just focus those. I think this has got accident written all across the side of it. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
I don't know though. I don't know.
So we're getting recommendations for Denmark, Spain, Poland, and Canada. Shall we cover like 4 or 5 more, and then have a look at a couple of the bowl rosters as well?
Sure.
Yep.
Sorry, the open. I mean, sorry.
Oh, it doesn't sort them into. Oh, never mind. That didn't work. Whoops. Okay. I was hoping. Dear, what have I done here?
Well, okay, we've got quite a few votes for Lithuania, so let's grab Canada, Lithuania, Poland.
All right. Okay.
Lithuania is an interesting one to look at because they're competing against us for hosting rights.
Right.
Right. We've gone Canada first. So, if there's something interesting, I'll pick them up. That's different. Not sure about that. That's different. It'll be some of the strip balling rosters will look at that and go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" So yeah. That'll do well in some matchups and then not so well in others.
Before you reach run bad, we'll take a poll and chat to see how many people bet that it's going to be the exact same roster again.
I think it will be. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Combat orientation. Someone mentioned Troll Slayer with Stand Firm. There it is.
There we go. So it's Mr.
I
Light.
think that's their rock roster, yeah. And Dwarves, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like it more on a Troll Slayer, just because that's more likely to find itself next to the sidelines.
Yeah, and then there's that. Right, last one.
And there it is, boys. The exact same roster again.
I wonder how many Amazon rosters have been dealt different as well, because we've looked at this. This is also very, very similar. We're basically picking wrestler. Is it on a lineman? Is it on a blitzer? That's what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think if you ignore the guard or block on one of the blockers, they're probably identical, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. That was Canada. Next one. In the line, you said Denmark. I remember that one was a name. So let's rattle through.
Yeah. So the Danish are always very good at spotting opportunities in rule sets, let's say. They always bring the spice.
Ooh.
This is very spicy.
Anton, someone who went, I think, 7-2-0 at the last World Cup.
Anton's with that, yeah.
Yeah, not a 150 coach. That'll be great until the one game he just doesn't pick the ball up.
Yeah,
like, more than one game.
They built nice, but they're still two kings. Like I think in the next edition, with the pick up the ball easily and stuff, then they become a lot better. But at the minute, it's just the edge is such a crippling.
The problem is a deep kick, and they are in a lot of trouble against a lot of teams. That's the issue. So yeah, high elves with kick, for example, are gonna mess these guys up. But anything more bashy, these guys have got a good front.
Ugh.
Yeah, they've got a lot of block, guard, and mighty blow. But unfortunately, what wins you the game is the ball.
Well.
Oh, there we go.
Well.
Oh.
The double stack.
Double stack of combat. Oh dear.
Yeah, we looked at this a bit. I mean, this is what we all feared, right? When we were looking at rule set things, that we'd see a lot of this. And
this is the I'm not going to play Blood Bowl, and neither are you.
Yeah, and if I work, neither of us are going to have a good time. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't want to play against this. I don't want to play against that. Unless, of course, they get sent off on a 2-2 in the first foul. Don't care.
Unless it's fouled your one and only wolf.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yep. This is. I actually played against Mark Hurto when I was over at Hargrim's tournament, and I ran this roster, and it looks like he liked him.
Yeah, very efficient, very effective. Madvig. Oh my word, a double stack. No, it's double stack.
Yeah, this he couldn't pick between them, so he's just gone for both.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you give up too many skills.
I did quite enjoy the couple of test games I ran with the double dodge diving tackle blitzer build, just because of how annoying that is. But yeah, I agree, right? I think 2 stacks is just too expensive.
It's the 2 catches as well is also a problem.
Yeah.
So, right, a team that I didn't expect anyone to take. I think they're genuinely terrible in the new after they've been reworked. I've played them a bunch, and I think that they are bad, like straight up bad. So,
but also Liam, captain of Italy, is also playing Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah, there's quite a few Chaos Dwarfs running about.
It surprises me because I'm very much of the same opinion as you, that they're not the best, are they?
Nope.
You have to work for it now.
Yeah, so Greece, Italy, Denmark, Czech Republic, Poland, and Ukraine are fielding chores.
Yeah, I just think they're bad. Tackle mighty blow, fine, but what about the bull centaurs? I'd like a guard centaur, please. I've just got my hand across the top of my head. Never mind. Tank on Necro. Wow, that's playing into the meta, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's playing into the meta.
It's a very tank build too.
Yeah. Ghoul runner with no skill and 2 rerolls and no sure hands. Ooh. Yeah.
This is variance o'clock, this.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Hugely. If he picks the ball up, wonderful. But in the game he doesn't. Oh dear. And then finally we have Triple Skull on Wood Elves with an unusual stack. Tackle sidestep. That is an unusual. Anyone want to have a run at that?
I mean, why not just put sidestep on a catcher and then just have more skills?
Yeah, that's. I will be talking to him as well and saying, "What have you done there? That is unusual." Because you could have sidestep on a catcher, and wouldn't you then get grab on a tree at that point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you only got 5 there.
Yeah, I don't think you get quite enough for another skill unless you drop a catcher, maybe, or the thrower, right? You could drop the thrower, but then you don't have the leader. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
To me, it feels like you're trying to almost play that.
Oh, I don't disagree, Jimmy.
Game, right, of just trying to be annoying, but it's all your eggs in one basket. Is my
worry.
And it'll work a lot, but you know, you are still blodged, right? So there's always a chance. And against some teams that maybe don't have tackle themselves or wrestle to get you down, it is going to cause some real issues. So yeah, I think you have to. If you're a good player and you can use it sparingly, I think it will do some work. But it is, for me personally, it's all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, and I agree with Jimmy, right? If you are going to stack, I'd put strip ball and tackle on as the stack, because then that's the dancer that you're sending in and hitting, and the sidestepper is the one that you're reserving in the back to do other things with.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe put frenzy on the other one or something like that. So you've got, you know, that the kind of second option. I think that's a better combo for me.
It's not what I would have done, but I'm very interested in to see how he does with it. Triple Skull, very good player. So if someone can make it work, he's definitely in that caliber. We'll see.
Yeah, he's a classic coach.
And I don't like the 3 naked catchers either. I think you want one of them to have something.
On pumps.
We've had calls for Italy, Switzerland, and Lithuania, and I think that's probably
Did someone say Greece?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to quickly flick, because I've selected, I'm going to quickly flick through and see if there's anything weird in here. Yeah. The fact that it's got a short roster in here at all is grounds for concern.
They do good kebabs, though.
They do a good kebab, actually. Yeah, I'd definitely go back to Greece.
Souvlaki.
They should
please.
finish the monument at the top of
Gyros.
Athens, though. Fucking lazy gits.
I'm sure there must be a picture of you running about the Acropolis with a Burger King bag somewhere in tow, right?
he had Nando's flown in especially for him.
Oh dear. Oh, Dark Elves.
Yeah, Barbossa. I played him at Home Nations with this build, and yeah, it's all right. Like they're still Dark Elves, right? They can still do work, and Barbossa's good.
I don't think Dark Elves are quite as bad as maybe some Dark Elf coaches have made them out to be, but I totally appreciate that if you play Dark Elves a lot, it just feels bad.
It's not so much that it's bad, it just makes you feel sad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, where's all my blodge gone?
Where's all the
Why
things
can't
that
I
make me
just
fun?
win games all the time now? So sad.
And I think you have to drop either one of the blitzers or one of the witches, right, to make the blodge and the block and dodge combos work. So it's a bit old school. It's a bit 2015 Dark Elf build.
Ugh.
I can make that joke, J-Leave. I can make whatever joke I want. I've got a microphone.
No. Oh, hang on. Liam and his chorfs. Oh, dearie me. Uber bang.
Yeah, I played him at Tillian Team Cup, and yes, very mighty blow. Like, gee. And you intersperse them, right? So it's like guard, mighty blow, guard, mighty blow, guard, mighty blow, and it's just it's
fun to
hard
play
work.
against. Yeah, fun.
Yeah, it's hard work.
My curiosity with a build like this, though, when you think about the kind of meta, you've got Zons, you've got Union, got some rats running about. Like, how well are they going to be able to pin these little buggers down?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think it's probably quite good anti-Zons. If you can just make sure those defensives aren't around.
Well, yeah. I mean that's a big if, though, right? Like you have
It's a big
to.
if. Yeah, it's a big if. But good players are still able to do that sort of thing, and then work it down the line. But yeah, not easy.
Nearly the same build as mine, or my old one. Serafino I've played in Bilbao, very good player. Ooh, tackle strip, so he's stacked them
Yeah,
here.
see,
That's
Yeah,
better
that's
than
bad.
strap.
this I like a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had something similar when I played him. He was an absolute animal to play into. So he will do well. And then Spartaco, while he lacks in stature, he makes up for in Blood Bowl ability. Oh my word. What a character.
Wow, rude.
What? I'm saying he's a very good player. That's what I'm saying. He's a very good player.
Sure.
So Greenskin Phil played him at Tillian Team Cup as well, and yeah, he was very very much raving around how bloody annoying this blitzer with guard was. Yeah, he's just said in chat. So yeah, it's an unusual one, but you always back people like Spartaco to find the best in these things.
It's a bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's a bit more conservative than the diving tackle option, but I think it can be equally annoying, right? If you put that guard in a correct place, then it can just make an absolute mess for the opponent to progress, because you're never going to be able to find good blocks.
In some ways, I think it can be better than the diving tackle, because the thing is, if you still got some players, right, and you can kind of work the squares, the diving tackle you can always sort of end up like pushing out a bit, and then at least the rest of the cage can sort of be a bit more maneuverable. Whereas if you've got a guard left against it can really open some holes.
Yeah, but like putting the diving tackle in the cage is like the third or fourth best thing you can do with it, right? Like it can do so much more than that.
Yeah,
and people just obsess
I'm
about
sure
it
about,
being
like,
in the cage. But
Play specifically.
Yeah, but anyway, no, I think it's clearly a good, very very good player and a good build.
The thing I find interesting is Italy always seems to come with it was the same last year. You look at their rosters and it's a real sort of like, ooh, I wouldn't do that, and ooh, that's a bit weird. They play a very very different meta, but they definitely get the results. You know, they showed us a thing.
There's an advantage to that, right? Because if they're used to playing in a certain way, and you're going up against a roster that you haven't quite seen work against a specific game plan, you know, it can take you 3 or 4 turns to sort of work out. Oh, all right, that's their game plan. And, yeah, often they can have caught you in that trick before you've realised what's going on. So,
yeah, and with some, you know, unless you're doing something really out there. There's only so much difference between 2 rosters, right? Like having a slightly suboptimal roster, but being more used to playing it is probably going to get you better results than playing the quote unquote perfect roster. But if it's not your playstyle, then you know, I think people overemphasize the importance of the roster.
I agree with you, Talk. I agree with you 100%. However, your timing could not be worse because look at this Underworld roster.
Yeah, touche. I mean, you know, it's
got
fine,
glass,
right? I don't think it's that bad. It basically means I'm gonna not play for 8 turns, then 1 turn, and then score. Let my opponent score, and we've got ourselves a nice little draw. Let's go have a beer. You know.
So remember, I played this in the Christmas bash practice. This roster.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the old
exactly right.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, apparently the
they will have
coach
fun.
is in charge.
It was fun, but my lord.
The oh, hang on, is that Dolce and? Oh no, different Dolce. That's not this Dolce. He's in the chat.
Are we sure?
I'm not sure. Dolce, are you the
Maybe
Lithuanian Dolce? Are you the Italian Dolce?
Is he Gabbana or not?
Hello.
That's me. Hello, mate. Mate, hats off to you. Like I said, when we were doing the England practice, I played this roster, and yeah, I could not get it to work. So, come find me at EuroBowl. We'll have a beer, and you can tell me all about how to play this roster.
Right. Tackle Mighty Blow. All right, that's right. For a second thought, I thought this was a dwarf roster. I was like, wait, what? No, okay.
Why a catch with sure hands when we already have a throw with sure hands? Why are we double shoring hands? It's ultra sure hands. Black's true. Dubious. Fuel.
Yeah, fairly standard.
Yeah. Don't like the wrestle.
Yeah, it's a good roster. I like wrestle on a second runner. I don't like it when you've only got one.
Yeah. Jankis. He's pretty standard, actually. He's not lived up to his name at all there.
No sidestep, but other than that.
Thanks. Yeah. Fine.
Kick on what else? Tree, what do you think of Kick?
Oh, back to Tree. Over to Tree. No, Tree doesn't have any thoughts on Kick. Dark Elves from Mankiz, 3 bludging things, a guard thing, and 1 Witch Elf with wrestle thing. This is a 12-player roster, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I quite like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the only drawback to it is the 2 re-rolls in that sense, and a decided lack of dodge ultimately. But he had this kind of build. I played him at the World Cup with this actually, round 1. Me and Manquez. I said, "Oh, there's a nice easy get warmed up in Alicante," and he plays them really, really well with that guard blitzer. For me, this doesn't feel like too much of a compromise. He's kind of given up a witch, but this is his style. So I think of all the Dark Elf coaches, obviously he's a top class one, but I don't think he'll feel the pinch of the roster build because this is how he typically plays.
Ooh. Wait, what? Wait a second.
Interesting. Pirate Bear in the chat as well.
Wait a second. If you're going to put Mighty Blow on a Rage Pirate Bear, Come on now. It's got to be Tickle, hasn't it? Come on. It has to be. One wolf. Yeah. You monster. You one wolf monster. Oh, I taught you nothing. Clearly not.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
I think you're making
It
it.
gets everywhere.
Outrageous.
We've lost Davo. We've lost Davo, everybody.
I'm just shaking my head from side to side. Just constantly.
Yeah, I prefer the block guard fleshy, like Jimmy says. I think that's a pretty good stack on this team.
Rackle. Yeah, this is all very standard. It seems like there's just a lot less skills on high elves when you stack them like this. There's just something. It just feels like they're missing something. It's like
I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did he not swap a skill? I think he's kept it flat, hasn't he? He didn't swap cash for skill.
I think so.
Which is why he's got the apple.
An apothecary. Yes.
So yeah, he's made the choice there of like one less skill for the apple. It's an interesting one. I don't see anything too bad with that.
Yeah.
No, that seems right. That's a justifiable choice.
Yeah, the only thing I would kind of comment on this one is, and I did it with Bob Alley, I wouldn't have gone all in on the Rackle catcher. I would have stacked the tackle on a blitzer, so you've got a wrestle and a blodge tackle, so that you're not got, if that catcher goes the way of the dodo, what the hell are you sacking with?
We've been told to check the Polish take on Chaos Dwarves.
Checking.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's a thing.
Wow,
King.
that's spicy.
Yeah.
This is the I am not afraid of 1 in 9s build.
I like it though. I think it's like with the blockers being just so static. I think making your ball centers a bit more dynamic is, gives you some play, gives you the ability to create some momentum. It's going to go horribly wrong at some point, of course, but it's going to go right as well.
Just not against me. That's what's going to happen.
And that's exactly what you want in EuroBowl, in a team tournament, a roster that you have no idea whether it's going to work or not, that particular game.
Yeah, Vilking's a very nice guy, so he'll take it in good spirits. But wow, I wouldn't. No.
Well, that is definitely a roster.
Oh dear. Right, where else?
Can you think of a better Chaos Dwarf? Like, the issue here is that it's a Chaos Dwarf roster, not that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we check out? I think Spain was also mentioned as having
El
spicy
Spaniel.
rosters.
Yeah,
and they're pretty high up in the ELO as well. So
Yeah,
I
they're
joke
pretty.
you want Switzerland to end on, right?
very strong.
Oh yeah. We'll end on the Swiss.
Yeah. Well, this was. I think that's a good idea.
I'll leave them out.
Everybody, here it is. You know it. You love it. It's the
that roster.
same roster as everybody else.
Deary me.
I've never heard of Bileman. I've heard of almost everybody else in the Spanish team, and I've met a fair few of them, but I've never heard of Bileman. So we'll see how good he is.
All right. Is Bubba going to be the gum that holds everyone together, or will his undead?
Pretty solid list there.
Oh, Bubba is currently number 1 on that Evo list.
He's pretty good, yeah. He's pretty good. Hopefully he can have a terrible tournament, and then the first 2 players have a terrible tournament, and the third player shines. That's what I'm hoping for.
I seem to remember you having a miserable time in Athens last year.
Oh, 1-4-1, yeah, I remember that, yeah. Oh, look, I've drawn again. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I remember that. If it could, it did.
I thought it was the Lucky Nando's you had a bad time.
Well, there's that, yeah. There's not one anywhere in Eastern Europe. They've not caught up.
There we go. There he is. Lord Borak the Despoiler.
Monster.
The one, the only.
Borak Renegades. I played this in the Christmas patch as well, and I liked it.
it's such a beautiful roster. It's one of my. I have a special space in my heart for this.
This is legit.
So it's 3 big guys, but the third big guy is Borak rather than the ogre.
Well, normally, yeah, you can do all 4, right? You can do all 3 big guys and Borak. It's a little bit short on other things, but you can do it, and it's brutal. This is slightly more conservative with only the 2, but it's still pretty good, right? Because Borak is just a better ogre, really, in every single way, and he gives you a reroll. And if your opponent, if you're getting the snowball going and you want to cement your dominance, you could just start fouling with him.
Yeah, especially later on. The only thing I probably wouldn't do here is blodge on the Dark Elf. I think maybe that's a little bit overkill. I'd probably put block somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe guard the troll, possibly.
Yeah, I was just thinking, how on earth do I get guard in here?
Yeah, that's possibly better.
How do I get guard in there? But 2 rerolls. The one thing it doesn't do very well is fight particularly well in terms of the lineman, because I always found with Renegades you end up having to use the lineman to throw blocks, and 1 in 9 do exist unless you're a Chorf coach. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think block on a lineman would be better than it on the Dark Elf. It just feels like it's a block skill sat at the back, being wasted every turn.
Yeah. Right, Ever?
This is Jimmy's favorite roster. This.
Yeah. Meh. It'll do fine, right? Is it fine? Sure, it's fine. It's 1 wolf. It's not very combat orientated. I don't like it. Fripgegi, very good player. Taking
it's
unusual.
Frigipe. You say Frigipe. That's how you say it.
Also known to the Spanish coaches as the final boss.
Yes, that's right.
Where's the tackle mighty blow? Why is the
it's been misspelled. A sneaky get dirty player.
Yeah, but it's snarty in your life, mate.
Yeah.
But it gets sent off, whereas tackle mighty blow doesn't. Why would we do this?
Yeah, there we go. Denbeek's got it. That's how you pronounce it.
Freaky pie. Nice. Okay. Fine.
Well okay. Well, halfway there.
Right. I do like me some freaky pie. I'm in. 3 mighty blow, leader, runner. All the dwarf teams are all very similar, aren't they? They're all dull. Next.
Yeah. Guard my blow then. Favour.
Haven't you described every dwarf roster in the world ever?
Ever, yeah.
Is this no guard?
Double block blockers is good.
Doesn't believe in guard.
Nah.
Wow.
Yeah, elves don't run guard, so why bother?
Bet.
All right.
Fine.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with a strength full blodger, right? But
No,
the one big omission, obviously, in the Spanish side is Javin. Obviously, he's not there. He can't be there. But I think he's a big hole. Although that said, heavy it is a very suitable replacement, I think. But how much stronger would Spain be if Javin was knocking about?
Oh, he's very good. Yeah, he's very good. Why is he not going? Is he not going at all, or is he?
Work life stuff. I was having a chat with him in Copenhagen, and I forget what he said why he couldn't go. But there was a reason why he couldn't go.
That's a shame.
yeah, it's as Greenskin Phil is saying, it's also rare to not see Duke Luther in the lineup. Chema, who's been in Team Spain for yonks, and he's a great coach, absolute party animal as well. But this year is going in the Open. Yeah,
the Spanish have got some depth, haven't they? A little bit.
Yeah, they're good.
This is a stacked ogre.
Yeah.
Garden block.
Stoger.
That's spicy.
Yeah, until it boneheads, of course.
Oh yeah.
And that's 200k of nothing. It's a very expensive paperweight.
Yeah, I played Samayan's at UKTC. He's an absolute veteran, really, really good coach. This is an odd choice of team, though.
Yeah, for me, like tackle mighty blow is the first thing on the piece of paper, so let's go and put that in there. And I know you can only have 4 guard, but I like my guard spam, so I would have kept it as a block over and moved the guard down to the Troll Slayer, and then probably put a block lineman in there, probably, because you are
I find that
lack of block.
I find that the Troll Slayer is such a liability if you try and hit with him. Just put guard on him and just don't hit things, because he will double skull and you will fail loner and you will be sad.
Yep. Right, let's go and round it out on the bowl with the Swiss team. Let's see what we've got here. Never heard of this guy, but he's built the team.
Yep.
Fine.
I mean, I realised
he's the most
glass
Swiss
houses
player
and everything. Yeah.
Wait a second,
glass
he's
houses
Italian.
and everything. Yep.
Wait a second.
No,
hang on. And Justicium, he's
Very
definitely
northern
not.
Italian.
He's not Swiss.
Uh-huh.
He's very northern. Just
Northern
very
Italian.
East French. Yeah, East France. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Definitely
imagine playing for a country that you weren't born in, right? Who does that?
Indeed, Jock. Fucking hell. Doesn't live there. He doesn't even live there. Disgraceful.
You're all on thin ice, boys. You're all on thin ice.
And Ziggy, isn't he German?
No, Ziggy's Swiss.
Oh, is he Swiss? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Right.
all
And we have
German.
the one-
He's worked and lived in Switzerland for like 30 years or something. So
Yes.
he's Swiss effectively, and he's a really good player. I've played him a couple of times many years ago. He's really good. So yeah, interesting to see what he can do with the Union team.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of playing Jacaro in Berlin this summer. Another top-class coach as well, and captain of Switzerland. So he'll bring the pain with the dwarfs, as he brought the pain to my Norse when he was dwarfing away.
So
Come on then, let's look at this terrible Slan team.
Yeah, come on.
this one?
Greenskin Phil in the chat is just waiting to tell us why that's a crap Slan team.
Okay, we'll get to the Slan team in a second. Might pick up every other team first.
Shanba,
There
because
he
he's building tension, right? He's making you wait. He's a professional.
Come on then, Greenskin Phil. Thoughts in chat.
So, looking at this team, what we found here is the Blitzer has been given skills, which is wrong.
Well, I mean, you had me at the Blitzer. That's where we went wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was looking at it and thinking, what the hell's wrong with this roster? I didn't even clock it was a blitzer.
Yeah. No Crocs. No Croxy.
No, yeah. Like, I know the Crocs is a choice, right? The Crocs is a lifestyle choice.
Yeah,
But
good choice.
Blitzers, they're not a lifestyle choice. They are just off meta. Jimmy, Blitzers are the best player never to see playing Blood Bowl.
Yeah. They would be great if they weren't not, because they're expensive as hell.
Like 20k overpriced.
Yeah.
Its linemen are too undercosted. I mean, ultimately, this is the time. We're going to a new edition. We can get the shotgun out. We can take old Jella round back and be done with it. And old Jella in this metaphor is slam, just if I were clear.
I just really hope that they re-release them, reskin them and re-release them, right? Because it's a fun team. Maybe tweak them a little bit, but no, I mean I do agree that it's just not great to have a team that isn't in the rules, right?
Yeah, dead. Right. Should we have a quick look at some of the
Bowls.
open teams?